I'd like to start and introduce to you Misha Lyalin, the CEO and founder of ZeptoLab. And please join the stage before speaking to our two chairmen. And ZeptoLab, who knows ZeptoLab? Okay, who knows Cut the Rope? Woo! He built something, and more than that, how many people are in Zepto?
In Zepto, it's 30 plus.
Okay, so you're part of this, and you speak to us about the science of fun.
Yes.
So the floor is yours.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Misha Lyalin. I'm CEO and chairman of a company called ZeptoLab. In 2010, in October, we released a game called Cut the Rope, and what you just seen was the latest update to this game, which came out a few weeks ago, and it's called DJ Box. So the game itself quickly shot up to #1 spot across the world, and we enjoyed tremendous success with it. About every month, every 10th person who uses any sort of application, smartphone, uses our game and plays our game. So it's a lot of people. We've collected a lot of awards, and we're obviously proud of being Apple Design Award nominee and winner. That is an amazing thing that happened to us. So we sell and we're available. Our game is available in 125 countries. And our biggest market right now is North America, but by the end of this year, we anticipate the biggest market being China. Asia is growing big time. We're growing together with population of smartphones across the world. So we're talking about science. I mean, and there's obviously science of fun. First, I'm not gonna talk about much how the game was actually built. I mean, that's a different topic and has been discussed very many times. But the interesting point is what do you do next? So first and foremost, you start porting your game to different platforms, because we came out on Apple platform, and it's great. It gave us great recognition, but there are lots of people in the world with different devices, computers, etc. And they need to have, if their device is able to play our game well, we'd like to give them that experience. And that's our rule and the policy. And even though some platform might be on the way out, there's still a lot of people that could enjoy our products, and if that's the case, we will port to that platform. Sometimes also we do things like that, right? I mean, and it becomes as a surprise, but there are so many people that want to play and want to have more of our game everywhere else, on different devices, on different mediums, etc. We read a lot of Twitter, and we read a lot of Facebook, and obviously comments that people leave in our games. And I can read things like that. Oh my God, Cut the Rope came out on Internet Explorer. My morning is ruined. And you think about this, and why do you think this person's morning is ruined? Because he might already have a smartphone or iPad or whatever, because he already played the game. He knows what Cut the Rope is. But it turns out that very many people just can't get enough of it. And we listen to those people. We listen to our customers and try to accommodate what it is that they want. Often, people think of mobile phone game users as those guys. And there's a lot of truth to that. Young people obviously have an enormous adoption of different games, and as you can see, they socialize completely differently. And by the way, in front of them is probably a TV, which they no longer use because it makes no sense to them. They have their own devices and they do that. However, as we learned, the audience is much, much wider. And that's when those download numbers and things like that don't really matter much, because you have so many people playing the game and having an interaction with your brand in a very different way. And as you can see, there's completely different people and families and generations. And what we've learned is the very young, the teenagers, they're quick to pick things up, but they pass them by. With our audience, with really wide spread, we can deliver a lot more and rich experience down the road, and we believe that is going to take us a long time to fulfill that mission. People start doing things that we didn't anticipate, right? I mean, we didn't know that somebody would create a bento box or a bikini or play the cut rope game at home or put their kid in a box all the same. So we listened to those customers and we decided to offer them some products, some merchandising products and licensing. And we completed very successfully very first. Last year we've completed tests. We know what the demand is like. And so this year we're coming up with a lot more things. So first we'll listen, right, what people want, and then we try to innovate with our own products. Not all the products are the same. They're not all just plush toys or the T-shirts or the baseball hats. They're also interactive toys, right? This is an example of a little toy that you'll be able to buy and just press on your iPad, place on your iPad when you're playing a cut rope. Magic happens, and new gameplay opens up, and then you can play with this toy and actually interact between the toy and iPad. And that's, I think, where it's all going. Kids nowadays are not really interested in TV sets. I mean, they're interested in their iPads or their iPhones or anything else because they can interact. Because not only they can move the actual device and carry it with them, to them it's not that big of a deal if you think about it, but actually interaction is a big deal. Sometimes physical and digital, sometimes just digital. Those are the new toys. People play with them. Kids play with them. And if something that our kids like, adults will like too. So we think of our audience, and because it's really big and wide, we started building the story behind the game, right? Because the science of this whole thing is somewhat difficult to explain, but you open up a game, and there's a little monster, green, doesn't speak, right? Sits there in a box for some mysterious reason, and eats candies that are attached to the rope that you need to cut. The kind of situations and the kind of scenarios don't really occur in real life or in very many imaginary scenarios. So all of a sudden, that becomes kind of anchor in your head that we've planted a seed, right? We've planted a brand, but a lot of people are curious. So what's up? Why is he in a box? I mean, what is his name? I mean, his name is Om-Nom. Why he eats candies and only candies? And why his emotions are so pure? Where he misses the candy, he's really sad, and when he gets it, he's really happy. And we decided to give a lot of answers to those questions. So we're building comic books. And there the story unfolds where Om-Nom came from, and it turns out that he's a monster and he was designed in a lab. But go download it, it's free, you can check it out, it's kind of interesting. So we're going to continue building more of those comic stories. We're going to create the whole universe around the character because that's what people wanted. I mean, that's what people tell us. People tell us this in comments, in Twitter, and Facebook, and in a lot of different communities, in a lot of different ways around the world. So that's what we do. From the two-person company that wrote the game in their parents' apartment, we become a much bigger company now. Still fairly small by modern standards, but we got to understand one thing, that we're in the content business, right? I mean, we entered this business as a game company because we saw an opportunity on new devices. Turns out it's not just new devices, it's a new screen, right? It's a screen that will completely replace, and for some people has already replaced every other screen that they attach to. So this screen, because it's new, because people spend so much time on it, that's why brands get born on the screen, right? And there will be very, very many brands that are born, and those brands will be very different, right? They're no phenomenons, they're just really great products that create brands. Just like in the entertainment industry, in the past, people created movies or created whatever other formats, and that's where brands were born. So we're on a new screen, and we're building a new brand. When you do this, there are certain things you play by the rule, right? I mean, you see some plush toys and so on and so forth. First, you play by the rules, and then you explore. And you innovate, and you try to come up with things that are modern, Not necessarily that every good brand needs to have its own movie and it doesn't necessarily need to launch tomorrow. There are so many possibilities right now because the distance between us and the final consumer is almost zero, right? I mean, we basically publish directly to hundreds of millions of people in the world and soon to be billions. So we're building more content. So there'll be, thank you. Thanks. So there'll be an animated series coming out this fall that again we will release somehow on the mobile devices. We don't tell you exactly how yet, but 95% of people that saw this video saw it from mobile, right? And about the same percent of people actually finished it because, you know, short, accessible, different. Industry is changing big time. So to kind of wrap things up, I wanted to. There's a lot I can talk about in terms of the science of this business and what else we're going to do, but I guess we're going to show you very, very, very quickly now. I mean, we have enormous lines of merchandising products that are coming out this fall. We have lots and lots of interesting things going on. Last Thursday, we just did release a new update for our second game, which is called Cutthroat Experiments, which, by the way, also became #1 in the world. And we still hold many, many positions, great charts in most app stores in the world. So last Thursday, we released another update. And that is partially why people always come back to the game, because we always give them something else, right? I mean, if you finished the game, wait a little bit, we'll give you something more. This industry, our industry, those new screens and new devices, or the way that people now are going to explore the content, explore entertainment, and maybe education, maybe other things, has changed fundamentally. It happened with when Apple introduced iPhone, and it's going to continue to change. When we go to China and we see just an explosion in smartphones, I mean, we see an explosion in smartphones everywhere in the world. And we see that software becomes even more and more important, and the content nowadays is software. We like the industry we're in, and we're going to continue to explore and innovate.